Alright y'all, I don't usually do videos like this, my throat hurts, I'm a little sick, but after the absolute madness we just got this past Saturday with 1000 Year Blood War episode 21, I had to hop on here and just give my raw thoughts, my reaction. I would have done it sooner, but I didn't even realize I wanted to do this, but this episode was just so much fun. It was so crazy, I had to drop something. Like, where do I even start, dude? Coming from the perspective of someone who's read all the way through the manga, I kind of already knew that Ichigo was coming back this episode. I knew it was about to be hype. This is one of my favorite set of chapters in the manga. When I was watching this over 10 years ago now, week by week, I remember just being so upset that it took Ichigo so long to do anything in the story. And so to finally get this episode, I was ready. I was sweating before the episode even started. And oh my gosh, not only did they deliver on everything from the manga like perfectly, they added to it, and I gotta say, this is the most fun I've ever had watching a Bleach episode. This was wild. And after watching everybody's reactions and like the pure shock and joy on people's faces, like it just dawned on me, this is gonna go down in history as one of the most memorable Bleach episodes of all time. This is easily a fan favorite episode. Like, bro, it has the hype action, it has the comedy, it has the like heartbreaking suspense and drama, all of it in one episode. The callbacks, bringing certain storylines full circle. Man, let's just jump into it. We pick up with Kenpachi after his fight with Gremmy. Very enjoyable episode. Definitely not my favorite of these last few battles. I think Rukia versus Asnot was still the best out of the last three. This episode put that to shame though. This episode went so crazy. And so we pick up with Kenpachi looking for Yachiru and, you know, her mysteriously just vanishing and leaving her clothes behind, which is huge foreshadowing. But I'm gonna leave that alone for right now. And then we get to see something that we haven't really seen before, except for in Core 1, which was Kenpachi getting absolutely blitzed by the Bambis, minus Bambietta herself. He won after his fight with the quote-unquote strongest Stern Ritter. He's still swinging, he's still going at it. He didn't get a single hit in, but they, you know, he put in some work. In my opinion, out of the Bambis, I've been generally seeing that everyone loves Candace the most, for pretty obvious reasons. Honestly, I love all of them for different reasons. Menina's, her hits go hard. Like, you feel those in your bones when she punches someone. Lil Toto is just really funny, voice of reason, arguably the strongest out of all of them. And Giselle is just such a weirdo. So seeing them jump the mess out of Kenpachi was incredible. And then of course, just the absolute hype fest that is everyone on the battlefield stopping in awe, feeling Ichigo's spiritual pressure as he races down Superman style. They really did him justice with this animation, seeing just how fast he's flying, how the scale of him is like soaring into the Seirete, him smashing into the soul shield membrane and just absolutely obliterating it. This is something that the manga just couldn't do justice to because you're just looking at it through panels. But seeing Ichigo just like, you really get a sense of how fast he's going. It looks like a comic book scene, but like then seeing him pull up behind them and the speed at which he like pulled up being so hard it blasted them out, like this is like unprecedented levels of hype right now, dude. Then we get this really awesome moment of character growth for Ichigo where he, you know, I love the manga a little bit better where he says, you know, I'm here to save you. It really just gives him an air of maturity and like he's the hero now. Everyone looks to him because this is the same Kenpachi who saved him from Noritora back in the Arankar arc, and now Ichigo is here to be his knight in shining armor because he's that dude now. And then we get to see him put his money where his mouth is because Candace immediately goes for him, and I was so ready for this moment. This was the moment I was hyped for above everything else, was seeing Ichigo 1v4 4 Stern Ritter at once and just completely annihilate them. And not only did they animate that flawlessly, they actually added in some more stuff. We actually get to see the Stern Ritter use Sklave Rai, which we haven't seen since Kilge Opi. And so it is confirmed that other Stern Ritter can use it, and we actually get to see them use it practically, where they're not using it on a hollow and it like warps their appearance. they actually just use it normally, and it like amplifies their Volsterndig and like powers it up to these unprecedented levels. They get new design elements, they can form these weapons. So seeing the Quincy use Volsterndig and like it's pretty cool. It's adding to the lore in a really good way. And then, as if that's not enough, we not only get Ichigo soloing these 4 alone, but then he does it while they're in their holy forms. Like that is so broken. They went out of their way to show Ichigo does not give a damn. And I know a huge moment for a lot of people was Ichigo's super chill Getsuga Tensho. That was incredible. Just one of the coldest lines in all of Bleach, honestly. And then right after that, we get the, his classic screaming Getsuga Jujisho. And I know a lot of people were losing their minds to see this. And I know Ichigo's main power is the Getsuga Tensho, and this technically counts as a new technique. Part of me just wishes he actually had like a different technique, but seeing him cross 2 Getsuga Tenshos together is about as good as it gets, honestly, when it comes to Ichigo. And then, of course, we get this absolute blue ball tease that Ichigo is going to face off against 8 Stern Ritter at once. And I would have loved to see it. Given the look on his face, we can assume that he was ready for this. He was probably going to go Bankai or something, or he might have been able to do it in a Shikai. They were all in their holy forms. I have no idea. But yeah, then obviously we switched to the more dramatic side. I love the comedy of the Bambis too, their Volsterndigs being really like goofy. You got the goofy Scooby-Doo sound effects, and like that's hilarious to me. Like, this is what Bleach is about. This is what we need in Bleach. It's just these goofy fights that also have the most amazing Dragon Ball level action. But then Yhwach starts, putting his plan into motion, and all of a sudden it gets dark. We get the pull up with all the Soul Reapers coming to help Ichigo, and then we get Ichigo trying his best to get to Yhwach and getting jumped by 3 Stern Ritter. And then obviously the reveal that Ichigo finds out Uryu is an op, and the voice actor for Ichigo is immaculate in this scene. And then Chad coming up out of the sky, new drip, blocking Uryu's arrows, which is insanely impressive, by the way. I've seen a lot of people, make a comment that Chad blocking Uryu's Litregen is like probably his biggest feat, which, now that he's powered up significantly, Chad being able to block that is actually really impressive. And then, of course, we have Orihime. Yeah. But for real, all 3 of them looking on in horror as Uryu chooses to side with the person who's just demolished all of Soul Society, and just Ichigo screaming in horror as he's losing his brother, basically. And man, like the heart-wrenching sadness you hear in Ichigo's voice is incredible, top-notch. So yeah, overall, I just wanted to hop in here and give my raw thoughts. That is the most fun I've ever had watching Bleach. That was everything I wanted and more. We got to see Ichigo in all of his glory from the manga. We got to add to it as he takes on 4 Stern Ritter in their holy forms at once with nothing but his Shikai. And then we get all the drama, all the comedy, and all of the emotion at the end, and just the cliffhanger cut off with the incredible voice acting. I mean, that boy was in the studio cooking with that, bro. Like, you can't tell me anything. All in all, out of the last Stern Ritter fights, with Renji and Mask, Rukia and Aznot, Kenpachi and Gremmy, and now Ichigo with like everybody, this was by far my favorite. It's all been amazing. The music goes so crazy. The remix to number 1 goes absolutely dummy stupid, and that 10 out of 10. What else can I say? Yeah, like I said, I don't usually do videos like this, so stay tuned for the next actual video in the lineup. But for now, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.